takes a lot to
conclude the conversations tonight with the perspective of the Nigerian Bar Association. Joining us is Mr. Festus Okoye, is the chairman of the Nigerian Bar Association Election Monitoring Committee. Thank you so much for joining us on the program.
Thank you very much.
What did the NBA see in this election?
Well, the NBA has taken away some positives from this particular election, and is going to use some of those positives as a basis for further recommendations for improvement in the law and improvement in the administrative setup of the Independent National Electoral Commission.
What would those things be, the positives that you've taken?
Well, part of the positives is that the democracy has come to stay in Nigeria, and the people of Anambra State have demonstrated that despite the anxiety, despite the initial fear, and also despite the uncertainty, they trooped out in large numbers to go and exercise their democratic franchise.
Would you say that's a large number? 400,000 out of 2.1 million?
Yes. If you put it on a scale, of during the 2013 elections, and then put this one on the scale, and then look at the variables and the surrounding factors in relation to this election, you will see that they did very well. And I think that the people of Anambra State they deserve commendation for that.
All right. Generally speaking, the conduct of this election, there are allegations of vote buying, there are allegations of manipulation and ballot snatching. Would you say that was rampant?
Well, I think that there were some challenges with this election, but those challenges are not significant enough in relation to what we saw out there in the field. Out there in the field, we saw a population determined to exercise their democratic franchise. We also saw members of the National Youth Service Corps who had been properly trained in the conduct of elections, and they did very well. We also saw security agencies who were determined to be civil and courteous and professional in the conduct of the elections. Now, some of the challenges we observed had to do with the card reader technology. I believe that the same recurring problems of lack of authentication, network failure, and so on and so forth that we observed in 2015 is still occurring. So I think that the Independent National Electoral Commission needs to re-examine the current card reader technology and see what improvements can be made in relation to it.
If there is one thing, I mean, you're speaking on behalf of the NBA Election Committee. If there's one thing that your committee has discovered in this election and needs to be urgently fixed in the Electoral Act, what would that be?
I think that we must fix the place of the card reader in our electoral process, and
to put it permanently,
to impute it into the electoral framework.
Because not just to be in the guideline.
No. It's not a law. The card reader technology is only a quality control mechanism as of today. So we must input it permanently in the law so that it forms part of Section 747 of the Electoral Act, and then the courts can now fundamentally use it in the adjudication of the electoral process.
Yeah. Yes. So finally, if you look at this election generally, 2019 is knocking right here. Yes. The amendment to the Electoral Act, to the Constitution is ongoing.
Yes.
How fast do you think this could be? Just in 30 seconds.
I think that the National Assembly has to conclude the alteration to the Constitution and the amendments to the Electoral Act within the first quarter of next year for it to be relevant for purposes of planning and for purposes of the 2019 elections.
Mr. Festus Okoye, many thanks for a short time,
but
very fruitful one that you spent on the program. And many thanks for being part of the program. We've been talking with Mr. Festus Okoye, the chairman of the Nigerian Bar Association Election Monitoring Committee. And that's our beat tonight on the program. It's a special edition of the program outside of our usual comfort of our studio, but we hope that you enjoy every bit of it and all our coverage of the Anambra governorship election 2017. And on behalf of the channel's crew from Awka, the Anambra State capital, many thanks for being part of the show tonight. Bye for now.